Hello everyone, I am Harsh. In the last video we have learned how to create the side menu and how to create the pie chart. In today's video we will build a complete WPF CRUD application using SQL Server. Here we can see how to add, update, delete and retrieve data along with an bulk insert technique to improve performance. Without wasting the time, let's get started. First, let's see this add user binding command. Let me go to the employee view, and here I have binded this open add dialog command. So this command we can see in employee view model. This is the command. Here I am creating one object of the view which we are seeing on click of add employee. I will show you how I have created this UI, but first let's see the code. So now after creating the object, I will call the show dialog method. Here we will check if the dialog is visible. Then we will first check the selected option, which you can see here. We have two options, one is form and one is JSON. If you select form, then you can enter the value in respective field. If you select JSON, you can add the JSON format data as an array, and from here you can insert the multiple employee. Because of that I am checking if it is JSON. Then we have the property in the view model bulk employee that we will initialize, and we will try to insert to the database. That we can see later how I have inserted it. So these are the insertion logic. Now let's go to the add employee view. So this is the view where I am binding the title to the title, which we can see in add employee view model, and then here I am creating all the field. If you observe here, I have added row definition in the grid and set all the row height here like this. This is the older way of doing it, and this is the new way in the latest .NET version. We can see this. Here I am using .NET 10, so I have this row definition in the grid. Here we can set the height like this. How we set in this row definition, in the same way we can set in the same element. Here 3 row will be created, and then I have created one text block for the option, and I added the combo box which will show the option to select like form or JSON, and I have binded to this property that we can see in the view model. And for the content, like for the information of the employee, we have two types. One is the form, one is text box. So in the form we have multiple fields which I have binded to the respective property, and this visibility I have added. So based on this option, this will visible or it will collapse the stack panel. And for the text box also I have binded the visibility property. Why I have added this except return equal to true? If you don't add it, then you will not able to go to the next line in the JSON format. If I will press enter now, we can go to the next line, but if I remove it, save it, load it, and then now I will try to press enter, I am not able to go. Let's revert it, save it, load it, and then now try to press enter key. Now I am able to go here. If you notice here, I have added the watermark. This thing, if you are using the Mayhap Metro, then only you will get. If you don't use the Mayhap Metro, then you will not get this option. I have binded this watermark with the static resource JSON watermark. Where is this JSON watermark? I have defined it in this resource. If you see, I have created the string and set the key as JSON watermark and this text. If you remove this, then you can see the text what I have set here. And one more thing, if you observe here, I have set the space to preserve. If you don't set it, then this complete line will be in the same line. I removed it, load it, you can see it is in single line. But if you use the space preserve, so how I added it here, in the same way it will show in the UI. And for other control also I have added this watermark. If you see, I have used controls, which is nothing but Mayhap controls. This control is for employee information. After that we have two button. One is cancel button, one is save button, which I have binded with the button text because I want to utilize the same UI for add and update. Here I have used this dynamic resource of Mayhap style. So if you observe here, we can see this style is applied here. Now let's go to the view model, and here I have added some property like option. We have form and JSON. For gender we have male, female, other, and for roles we have developer, tester, support, and manager, and for country we have these many country. And then I have created all the property which we binded to the UI, and then there is one action delegate I have created here, and the definition of this action delegate I have added to the code behind to close our UI. So here I have assigned this close action, and then I close this dialog, and in the code behind only I set the data context, and in the constructor of our UI I am passing the employee which we binded to the UI. And here we are checking if this employee is null, then set the button text to save, because when we click on add, that time we will not have any employee. But when we add the employee, like let's add one employee first. I have JSON file. I will copy this detail from the JSON file and I will insert to the respective field. Then I will click on save. Now we can see the information of the employee in the data grid, and here we have two buttons, edit and delete. So when we click on edit, that time we will have this information of this employee to operate. That's why here we are checking in the view model. If it is edit, then I will set the button text to update and the title to update employee, which we can see here, update employee. Then I have one selection option change method which will come from this property, this selected option. As I am using MVVM toolkit, that's why I am getting this method. And then here we will check if value is JSON. Then we will set this field which I have binded here. If you see, for the text box, JSON visibility, for this stack panel, form visibility. For that I have assigned this value to the property. And then if it is JSON, then we will serialize this object, like this object, to the JSON. Let's select it, and if you see, this is changed to the JSON format as an array. And if you see, I have created the JSON serializer options and set the right indented to true. That's why we can see it in proper JSON format. And I use the serialize method and create the list of the employee which we can see here in the form, and then I set the option. That's why when we switch to the JSON format, we'll get the JSON detail of that employee. If we switch to the form, then we are seeing the form, and that time we are not seeing the JSON because we have updated this visibility according to the selection. Then we will go for the close command, which is nothing but I have binded for this button. Let's see. So when we click on save, we'll check if it is JSON, then deserialize this field to object like list of employee and assign to the bulk employee. And here we are setting this option property name case insensitive equal to true, and then we will invoke this close action. Then it will close the UI, means our this dialog. And after that, what will happen? Let's see in the view model where I have opened this dialog. If it is JSON, then it will take the JSON information and then it will insert. So this is logic of this dialog. Let's move to the CRUD operation. To perform CRUD operation, we have to install some NuGet package. I already installed it. Let me show you. Open this dependency and open this package. You can see I have used this entity framework code and entity framework code.sql. These two you have to install. After that, let's go to the CRUD folder, and then we have to create this employee DB context. So in this DB context, we have to inherit the DB context, and then we have to create one property of type DB set of type employee. It indicates our table. Like in the database, table we will create with the name employee. For that, we have to use this DB set property. Then we need to override the onConfiguring method, and then here we have to specify the connection string. So how to get this connection string? You have to open this SQL Server Object Explorer, refresh it, open this, right click on this, click on properties. Here you can see the connection string. This you have to copy and paste it here. And then here we can change the database name. Whatever database you want, you can add it here. Now let's see the database, we don't have the employee DB. So when we run the application, then only this DB will create first time, and then we will use this DB for the next time. So for that, how the DB will create on startup, for that what I have done, in the app.jml.cs file, I have created the context of type employee DB context, and then using this context, I have created the database using ensure created method. So when the application will done, if database does not exist, then it will create the database. Now the database creation is done. Let's go to our repository where we have the method for the CRUD operation. For that, I have created the interface I repository. Here I have added multiple methods like get by ID async, which will take ID and it will return the respective employee information. This get all async method will return all the employee information. This add async method will insert the employee to our database. Then this add bulk async method will insert multiple employee information at once in the database. Then update async, which will update the single employee entity, will delete the single employee entity. Then we have the employee repository class, which will implement this interface. And here I have created this employee repository as singleton, and inside the employee repository constructor, I am creating the employee DB context. Using this context, we can insert, update or delete data from database. So let's see the get by async method. For that, we have method find async. So we have to use context object, then our table name, which is nothing but DB set, and then the method find async, and then we have to pass the ID. So with this ID, it will fetch the record from database and it will return that employee detail. For get all async, we have method to list async. So it will list all the employee details. And for add, we have add async method where we will pass the employee, and then we have to call save change async. This I will explain later. For update, first we have to get the information from database with the employee ID. Then we can update all the information of that employee by checking if employee is not null. Like if employee exists, then only it will update. Then we have method update. In the update method, we will pass this updated detail and then call the save async. For delete async, we will first try to get the employee with this ID. If employee exists, then it will remove using remove method and then call save change async method. So this is all about the CRUD, like how to add, update, delete and load the information from the database. Let's run and see all the operation one by one. Let's add one employee. So for that, I will again use this JSON file and I will try to use this information. Here I have selected form. So using the form, I will insert. Then click on save. So it will insert to our SQL Server database and we can see in the data grid. If you want to see in the database, that also we can see. Go to the SQL Server Object Explorer, refresh this, open the database. You can see employee DB is created. Inside this DB, we will have one table dbo.employees, what I have added in DB context as DB set. Let's see the record. View, click on view data. We can see the information here like ID, name, email, gender, company, all these things we can see here. Let's try to edit this information. I will remove this name, this from name. I will keep it Alex and I will increase the experience. I will change the country, change the role and click on update. You can see it is updated, and here also we can see the same thing in our database. Let's see. Right click on this table and click on view data. We can see name is updated, role is updated, country is updated, experience is updated. Let's try to delete it. Click on delete, it will delete. And if we go to the database and click on refresh, we can see data is removed from the database. So this is how we can add, update and delete the data from the database. And now I will show how we can insert the information using the JSON. Click on JSON, and this time what I will do, I will go this JSON file and I will copy it and I will paste it here. Make sure it should be an array, like it should start with a square bracket and then the JSON detail. Let's click on save. You can see it is inserted and we can see in the database. Let's refresh it. We can see it is inserted in the database. So this is how we can use the JSON format to insert the record to our database. Now we will see how to insert the bulk employee information. To use the bulk insert operation, we have to install one NuGet package called efcore bulk extension. Then in the employee repository, if you see, I have one method add bulk async, expand it, and then using the context, you can call the extension method bulk insert async. Here we need to pass the list of employee. So let's see. This time I will pass the multiple data, or I will select some record from this JSON and then I will click on add, select JSON, I will paste it and then I will close the square bracket and click on save. You can see it is inserted to the table and we can see the information. So this is how we can insert the bulk data to our database. This thing also we can see in our table. We can refresh it and we can see all records are available in the database. Now I will close it and rerun the application again to see if this data is loaded on startup or not. And for this we have the code. If you go to the employee view model, here we have load data method where we are calling the get all async, and then using the observable collection I am binding this to our data grid. You can see all the employee are loaded. If you want to delete, you can delete it. It will delete that. I hope you learn how to insert the data into the database, how to update the data, how to delete the data, and how to insert the bulk data to the database. That's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, let's share with your friends.